Hello and welcome to the July 22nd, 2022 edition of Watching the Tape. It's been a year since we've kicked off this video series, and it's been a lot of fun putting these together, and I've really enjoyed the conversations that have come out of these videos. This week, I wanted to talk about the video itself, the background, the intent, the title. So here we go. My career started 20 years ago this month at Washington Mutual in Seattle. A couple years later, I got very lucky and landed a Wall Street job on a corporate bond trading desk in New York City. I worked there from 2004 to 2009, and it was during that time that I became immersed in finance, investing, and economics, and have been passionate about these subjects ever since. An important part of that job in New York was consuming information and pulling out the important pieces, conducting analysis, and then communicating what was relevant to our in-house traders and investing clients. So when it came to communication, we had an acronym to live by, and it was BRITA. B stands for brief, R stands for relevant, I stands for interesting, T for timely, A for actionable. And if you could satisfy all 5 of these criteria each time you opened your mouth in that daily 7:45 a.m. meeting with the traders and salespeople, then you were doing a great job. I try to satisfy 4 in our weekly video series. The A for actionable is more relevant in a trading environment and less so when it comes to long-term investing. All right, let's move on to what is so fun about making these videos. I know many of the viewers, and I also know that many of these viewers are curious people by nature. And in addition to that, there is a strong baseline knowledge that many have. So the topics that are covered are nothing new to them, but perhaps there is a little extra depth that I can add because after all, I'm knee deep in this stuff every day. So in that way, it sort of feels like a conversation with clients. However, in some cases, the subject matter is something with which you may not be as familiar. And in those cases, maybe I'm more like a teacher. So if your curiosity is satisfied and or you feel better armed with knowledge the next time one of these topics comes up at a barbecue or other social gathering, then that's fulfilling to me. What's also fun is the range of topics we've covered so far. The topics range from the labor market to interest rates to stock valuations, retirement planning, tax planning, commodities, currencies, inflation, inflation, inflation. After going through this list that is scrolling on the screen, I noticed that I've only covered Bitcoin once. So Bitcoin is down 66% since last fall. I think that another video might be in store soon. All right. What is up with the name Anthony? Watching the tape. And for that, we'll have to go back in time to my first week on the job in New York City in 2004. I was a junior analyst working for the analyst who covered consumer products, supermarkets, drugstores, and other retailers. And simply put, we conducted research and analysis and then made buy and sell recommendations. Again, this was my first week on the job. It was in the afternoon, and the senior analyst was heading out of the office for a meeting. And she looked at me and said, "Anthony, watch the tape while I'm off the desk." And I could have looked at her confidently and said, "Sure thing, boss." But I knew enough to know that I didn't have a good poker face back then. And so I timidly asked, what does watch the tape mean? And since she was a New Yorker who had cut her teeth on Wall Street in the 80s and 90s, her initial reaction was not to gently explain in a quiet voice what it meant. Instead, it was fairly abrupt, and she said, "Just watch the news and call me if anything comes up on our companies." So there you go. This is a a tribute to that very memorable moment early in my career. That's it for this week. There will be no video next week, so I'll see you in 2 weeks.